Today I will be trying all the most popular money-making methods in the Hunter Call of the Wild and finding out which one is the best and most efficient by testing how much money they make in a 1 hour period. And I will also be somewhat including setup cost and ammo cost, and of course I will also be ranking them. But now, let's take a look at the first method, which is the Emerald Coast croc grinding method. I made a basic setup along the beach with 4 tents just to skip some of the worst spots. After 1 hour of going up and down this beach, I earned approximately $81,000 / credits or whatever else you could call them. These were about the results I was expecting, but the ammo cost was like really high since shooting the crocs 2 times or more was pretty much a must, because otherwise they would run out into the water and you would have to wait for them to float back to you. But however, the setup cost was pretty much next to none, so that's good. But in the end, I did make a lot of profit. Besides, croc hunting is pretty fun, so I would put this in a B tier. This next method is one I did years ago, before it got changed for the worse, and that is goose farming. I basically set up a goose setup with decoys, that sounded weird, tripod and a collar on salt season, which cost me about $10,000. I also took my retriever with me just to make life a little bit easier, and for the next hour I blasted as many geese as I could. And in the end there was more than like 60 geese lying dead next to me. You can actually see my FPS drop when I'm looking at the pile. Anyway, after harvesting all these geese, I got about $50,000, which was kind of a disappointment since before they got changed in 2022, you'd get double that amount. I would probably give this method a good C tier. This next method was accidentally discovered and turned out to be way better than expected. And that is what I choose to call the Medved Roam. How this works is you set the time to 6 in the morning and roam the ice around the map, and you will find hundreds of reindeers and a lot of brown bears as well. There isn't any specific strategies other than just running and gunning, preferably with a bigger caliber gun like the 300 or the 375. This will lend you a good $85,000 per hour. Ammo costs will be pretty high, but the very low setup cost makes up for it, although this method may get worse over time because of respawns being so inconsistent, so I will give this method a B tier. And I'm pretty sure this would work similarly or even better killing grizzly bears and caribous on Yukon Valley. These next 2 methods are gonna be more well known, and those are black bear and red deer grinding. Both of these methods required a good setup in order for them to work well. Luckily, there are many guides out there, and these setups are gonna cost you a pretty penny, but doing these methods, you not only will be earning money, but you will also have the chance of spawning a great one, which is kind of the main motive, and the money is just kind of a bonus you get along with it. I earned $105,000 an hour of black bear grinding, which makes it the best one yet, but unfortunately getting the grind to this point takes a while. The red deer, however, is pretty easy to set up, especially on Teoroa, and it will earn you about $120,000 per hour. Since the black bear setup requires so much work, I will give it a B tier, but the red deer is an obvious S tier. I would start off doing the first 3 methods and eventually set up either of the 2 Great One grinds or even both. Compared to other Great One species, black bears and red deer gives the most money just because they go up to level 9. But yeah, that will be my final ratings, and I hope you found this video helpful and somewhat enjoyable. And as always, I hope to see you in the next one.